Hey gang, today we're going to continue on our great rock guitar introduction series. This one is Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash Young, or Ohio rather. The great interplay between Neil Young and Stephen Stills on guitar in that one. Just amazing. So much of their sound was just awesome, blended so well together. We're just going to do this introduction, although there's a lot more to the song for sure. Hey, if you like this one, give it the thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for a couple of these every single week. We'll see you in just a second with the demo and then the up close, note for note. All right, gang. Well, let's go over this note for note. We'll do each of the parts note for note. Oh, I should say I'm going to tab it up. I'll put that in the, what the heck, I'll put it in the link in the description. Might make your life a little bit easier. I don't know that you'll need the tab, but what the heck, you got it. All right, so let's play the Neil Young's part. I love this part. I love how raunchy it is, and so forth. Now the key to this one is we're going to drop D tune this. So we're going to tune the sixth string down to a D from an E. Okay, so that's a D on the thickest string. Now you could also tune the top string down to D, but I left it at E because I'm going to deaden it out. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to deaden it out with probably my fourth or my third finger on the right hand, okay? All right, so let me play the whole thing kind of slowly. So we've got a drop D tuning. So here it is. Let me play the whole thing slowly. All right, and that's it, basically. It's just repeated. All right, so let's just learn that, and then I'll show you there's some variants in there. One of the things I really like about Neil Young's playing, I really mean this as a compliment, it is kind of sloppy. It's beautifully sloppy. So, you know, he's hitting these strange notes, and it just fits so well with the raunchiness of the sound. So it doesn't really matter if you hit a couple of extra notes here or there. That's okay, and I'll show you maybe some things that you might even want to try to get it a little bit more like the record, more than I did. Okay, so we're going to start out with a thwack on the sixth string, and that should be deadened pretty quickly, so you're going to palm mute that. All right, like that. Then we're going to play this. So what's happening there is, imagine you're making a D chord, and then instead of just making that D chord, you're not going to play the first string, so you don't need that finger up there. So you can either play it like this or whatever is most comfortable for you. And you're going to hammer on. You're going to play the open string on the third, and then you're going to play the second string, third fret, twice. And you want that to all kind of bleed together. Unlike that first thwack, which you want it deadened, this you want to bleed, and this you want to let ring out. Then you'll play the third string and you'll open that back up. So it's going to sound like this. We're actually almost done with the part. Next we'll play the fourth string on the third fret, which is an F, and then the open third string, and then we'll play the fifth string on the third, which is a C, and the open third string. So the first time through it sounds like this. Let me try that again. Now notice on the last two, you are cutting them off. So these last two sort of bass notes. So on that and this, you're cutting them off to give it that sort of herky-jerky sort of feeling. All right, and the second time through, it's exactly the same, except you just don't hit that last final open third string. So it sounds like this. And you can let that ring out if you want. Okay, so that's it for the first thing. The only thing I'll mention is that, again, Neil Young has a beautiful sort of sloppiness, and it just adds to the raunchiness of this tune. You can play that open E string if you want to once in a while. You can play a double stop here, like that sounds great on that D. And then when you're playing this F, instead of just playing the open third string, you can also finger the C, which is on the second string, first fret, and play that. So to make it sound like this. And that sounds awesome. So that might even sound more like what's on the record. Anyway, we've kept it simple. So that's it. We'll move on to the next part. All right, let's play Stephen Still's part now. I've got a different guitar. This is just in standard tuning. Again, you could drop the D string if you wanted, the low, thickest string. It won't matter on this, okay? So this song is basically, it's in D minor. So we're just going to be playing notes that are in the D minor pentatonic. Now, we're not going to play it up here, although you could certainly play this solo all the way up there. But we're going to play it down here. And let me just play it, how it goes. Okay, so let me play this in slow-mo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the important thing to remember on this one is, or the only thing that's kind of important to get you started, is that it starts before the top of the measure, as you saw. So it's like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and, right? So it's going to start on the and of 4 and play that. The way it sounds in this would be... Oops, let me try that again. That's kind of the cadence of it, all right, where it starts. Okay, so we're going to start with that little pickup. So that starts on the 5th string, 3rd fret. We're going to hammer on to the 5th. There's a lot of hammer-ons and slides in this little solo-et, little tiny solo. So anyway, this time we're gonna hammer. So we're gonna hammer 3 to 5, and then here's where the first line goes. Okay, so that's on the 4th string. We're gonna hammer 3rd to 5. And then we're going to play it again. We're going to play the 5th again and slide up to 7. Now we're going to go to the 3rd string and play 5 and hammer on to 7. On the 2nd string, we're going to play 5 and hammer on to 6. And then last part of the line, we're going to play 6 and slide up to 8. And then we're going to play one more 8 just for good measure and give it some vibrato. Whole thing sounds like this. Okay. So again, you can see it sort of follows this. D minor chord that's right here. The one that you're all familiar with, right? It's the same as the A minor, and you just bring it up so that there's a D on that 5th fret. That's the root. So the only note that's not in the minor pentatonic is this note right here, this 5th fret on the 2nd string, which is an E. It is in the minor scale, the D minor scale. All right, so it is in the minor scale, but it's not in the minor pentatonic. Okay, so that's the first part. Okay, second part to the line. Okay, so here we're playing from 6 on the second string from 6 to 8, which again is an F to a G, and then sliding up to the A, and then walking down G, F, and then that E, and then third string 7 and 5, and then back 5 to 7. Ending on that very strong note, which is a D, right? The seventh on the third string, 7th fret is a D, and so it's a very strong note over that D minor. Just give it a little bit of vibrato, not quite as much as I just did. Okay, here's the last line. Actually, let's just break this up into 2 of them. All right, so the first is. Okay, so this one I'm going to start out with a ghost note. So I'm totally, with my right hand, palm muting this one. And then we'll hit it twice. So I'm playing on the first string, 8th fret. If you tune it down, you'll have to play, if you tune it down to D, you'll have to play it on the 10th fret. But I just left it standard tuning, so we're going to try it up here. So then you give it 2 notes. And then this is interesting. It's actually a little bit hard because it's not the same note in the sequence that you're used to playing. It's a little bit interesting note choice. 8, hammer on to 10. And then on the third string, we're going to play 10 and then 9. So it sounds like this. Like that. All right? So on the record, he actually makes a mistake, and I just didn't have the heart to repeat it. It sounds cool how he does it, because he recovers from it so quickly, but there's a little mistake here. He plays. If you listen very closely, he plays this note right here, which is a D sharp. Really clashes. So he recovers from it really quickly. I just didn't have the heart to put it in the solo. Okay, so that one was. Okay, here's the last line. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, so this one, we're going to start out by playing. So a nice little pull off here. Second string 6, pull off to 5, and then play 7 on the third, which is a D. And then we're going to play this. So that's on the third string 5, fourth string 7, third string 5. So walk down and then back up. Last part is on the second string 6, 8, 6 again. And just tweak that just a tiny bit and come down to 3 on the 7, which again is a D, and let that just a little bit of vibrato, and that's where it ends. Here's the whole line again. That's the whole thing. Well, there you go, gang. Hope you enjoyed this one. Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Again, Neil Young and Stephen Stills playing together on that one. They were just great playing together. I really dug it. All right. Till next time, we'll see you on down the road.